Jays here at Great American Ballpark, and Sam LeCure making his major league debut.
He will be the 6th draft pick that will make it to the big leagues from the 2005 draft.
And Sam LeCure activated today, and Nario Del Rosario was optioned back to Louisville. And Sam LeCure coming off of his last outing, a very, very impressive one for the Bats.
Well, he has thrown the ball, I guess, probably as well as he ever has in his whole life. And that includes his couple of years being a Longhorn at University of Texas. He's now in AAA, now in the big leagues, 5-2. You saw the numbers up on the board, but a one-hit shutout and throwing 9 innings and staying under 100 pitches. I think he's starting to understand what it takes to pitch up here.
Michael Bowman, the first of 3 for the weekend here.
Hey there, this is Sean McGarry. We are in Cincinnati, Ohio at the Great American Ballpark, and today I'm super excited. We're going to go inside and have a conversation with Sam LeCure, former Reds pitcher and TV analyst. It's going to be a great day. Come on in, let's check it out.
The nuanced stuff that we don't talk about necessarily on this show, the things you have to learn to become a big leaguer, how to be a professional, where to take your luggage, how to tip the clubbies, how to be an adult, all the different, all these things.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, man. Welcome to my work.
I know, this is crazy. This is awesome. I feel like you right now, man.
I know.
Well,
awesome. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool. This is what we do, man.
Yeah.
So you know what it's like to be on stage and have people standing around and expecting you to, to create and do something. So this is where I get to do it.
It's a bit stressful probably doing the live thing, right?
A little bit. I mean, well, you would know. I mean, you do the same thing. I can imagine what it would be like to get up on stage playing the guitar because I'm not used to it, right?
Right. I mean, it's like anything.
But so you come in here and you like kind of the parallel of you're just uncomfortable in this setting.
Right.
So I've been doing it now, so it's kind of second nature to me, so I don't think too much about it. I just kind of focus on my chords here, right? Like think about this is what I can control. I've practiced, I've prepared to do this, now it's just executed.
But there's always that live element of a little bit of danger, right?
There is. I mean, but I think that's what makes it exciting. I think that's the cool part about it. I mean, a studio, we're talking music, right? I mean,
we absolutely are.
A studio album versus a live show.
Right.
Like there's a different feel to it, how you listen to it, the way it makes you feel.
Right.
And I think so the live aspect of this, and when I used to, be out on the field,
right.
I mean, that's what makes it spicy.
So, I don't want to get you in trouble, but you told me that sometimes you're playing guitar between takes and during the games, right?
Practice. Yeah, so not down here because it's hard to kind of lug the guitar around.
Right.
But we have a studio downtown, so we're just kind of there, right? So I'm kind of solo, just in this room watching the ball game.
Right.
So this would be a great opportunity to learn some guitar, to have some extra practice while I'm just kind of sitting up here twiddling my thumbs rather than be on Instagram or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I started taking it up and spend some good time up there.
And man, that's the thing. It's like anything we do in life, especially guitar. I tell my students or anybody who wants to learn guitar, it's like you got to have that thing become part of you. So take it with you, man. If you're on your couch watching TV or a ball game, have the guitar in your hand.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I remember when I was a kid, man. I used to have the guitar on the phone, and and on the TV, we watch the TV, and you drive people crazy.
Yeah.
But it's second nature.
Yeah.
So anytime you can take advantage of it is really cool.
So I've been
especially in that situation.
Yeah, right? I've been being good about where they are. Kind of everything that I think about in life as I'm moving through. I'm trying to create the opportunity for me to be successful at it, right? So as lazy as this is about to sound, it's true. If the guitar's on the other side of the room, I'm less likely to get up, walk my fat over there and get it, right? But now if I've got one sitting right next to me,
right there,
then it's right there. And I got that little travel one, so it is now with me on the couch at all times, which I don't love the way it sounds compared to the other ones, but it's nice just to have it there to put my fingers on it.
It's funny, man, cause my guitar, I have a big guitar collection at home, and it hangs on walls, and I know guys are really into it, man, you got to keep it in the case, and it's got to have a humidifier. And it's like, man, Dad, like, it's artwork, and I want to be able to pick it up and play it.
Right.
I want to look at it.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of think the same thing. I'm like, am I warping the body of this by keeping it upright? And I'm like, well, we got a guy that can fix it, right, or put it back together to make it sound right. So, but I do love them. I think it's when people walk into the house. Yes, I have two hung, and then the two electrics, like because they're a little heavier, like on the ground. Right. But it's one of the first things people comment on is how cool they are. And like, oh, you play guitar? I'm like, well, no. But I try. But I try.
Yeah. And I think we're going to do a little jamming later. And I really want to get into the whole music thing, like the whole sports and music and how it ties up. But you know what I'm thinking, man? Let's go get a ballpark, Frank, and go down to the seats, watch some of the game, and have a conversation.
That sounds good. Let's do it, brother.
All right. You miss it sometimes?
Oh yeah. So I mean, I probably go down on the field to batting practice like 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Because I miss it. Like I get down there and I think I can play, and like the smell of the grass and like being around the guys, and like I want to be their teammates versus have like a professional working relationship. So I just kind of try to stay away from it for both of those reasons. Right. But it's been rare that I've had regrets about anything that I did in my career. Like I felt like I put my best foot forward, and I don't think there's really anything I would go back and change about it. But I certainly miss it.
So, I was reading that I'm approximating 20,000 people have ever played in the NFL. Okay.
So like,
so that was you, huh? That's cool. Like so that's a small amount of people, man. That's like winning the lottery.
So they said if you took every player that's ever appeared in a Major League Baseball game and put them in the smallest Major League stadium, which is Cleveland, that stadium would be at 63% capacity. Of every player that's ever played. So that's the number that I was. That's like your serial number. The first one was I don't know who, but Babe Ruth's number 1,000, and Joey Votto's number this, and this is the one I was.
I mean, what an accomplishment. It's like I think every kid, man, growing up for the most part wants to be a baseball player, a football player,
or a rock star.
And
it's like those are the only two, and I think that that's why, musicians and athletes get along really well, because the only thing that you can do to like simulate the feeling that I had out there in front of, at times up to 50,000 people is to go be on a stage.
It is.
And be, because like I think you'll see, like in whatever Hollywood shit, it's like this person and this person hang out because there's an understanding of what that feels like.
Right.
So it makes a lot of sense. I'm not going to try to be a rock star by any chance, but maybe one of these days I'll get up on stage with you and play a little bit.
Well, and the parallels are so like most musicians I know wanted to be an athlete. Not, I did. I still do.
Yeah.
If I could be a quarterback, for the Bengals, I would. When I was younger, I wanted to be a baseball player, and so many, ball players love music, man. Yeah. It's like,
it's so sad. I think of, like a soundtrack to life. You're in the stadium, you're hearing all the put me in, coach. Like there's a soundtrack to all of it. Everybody has their entrance song. There's, the rally songs that they play, and that are.
What was your entrance song?
It was called "The Prodigal Son" by the Black Angels. Which you might dig. I think they were classifying it as like psychedelic rock, but that was like when the Black Keys were coming into vogue, and so it was like the Black Keys, the Black Angels. There was something called Black Mountain. It was all like these black ones. So they're a group that was out of Austin, Texas, which is. I don't know if you know this, where I went to college.
Yeah, of course, I was going to talk about that,
so they're from Austin, and I saw them play before and I don't know that they ever necessarily hit it big, but...
what years were you in college in Austin? We used to play South by Southwest back in the day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we might have played down there when you were in college.
Yeah, probably.
Like early 2000s.
Yeah, that's exactly when.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, so...
Yep, I didn't get to go to much of that, certainly not while I was in school, but...
You were too busy studying, right?
No. Right. I was not. I was studying something that wasn't books.
Let's back up even further. Like, you grew up in Missouri.
Yeah.
What part? Small town?
Small town. Yeah. Rural, right in the middle of the state.
So you grew up like every other kid, playing baseball, listening to music, hanging out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and most of my musical influence is my brothers, so I have 7 older siblings, and so they had 5, and then took like 10 years off, and then had me and my 2 other ones.
Yeah.
But the older ones, like they're all are in their 50s plus. Right. So, and a couple of them into their 60s. So my musical influence was the music they listened to. Right. So which is why like I felt like, you know, I still revert to, you know, classic rock, you know, the Led Zeppelins and the Rolling Stones and all that, those types of guys. So like that's where my thought goes to immediately when I listen to music, and that's because of what they listen to.
Right. Any of your other teammates make it to the big leagues?
Oh yeah. My debut here, one of my college teammates was in center field.
Okay, who was
Drew Stubbs.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. How cool is that?
Yeah, pretty rare.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, man. You've probably made some lifelong friends playing on the team, I would imagine. It's like a gang, right? A brother.
Absolutely.
It's like being in a band. I would assume it's like the same thing.
100%.
Yeah. It's a bond that unless you're in that position or that situation, you just can't relate.
You don't get it.
You just don't get it.
It's hard to relate, and that's like back to the athletes and musicians like getting along, because the focus you have and the adrenaline or what that you have to control.
Right.
You know, like, oh my God, you got all these people screaming at you, and you're trying to chill out and make your, you know, like stay in your moment and stay under control, regardless of the ebb and flow of the crowd. You know, if the crowd gets quiet,
right,
you want trying to crank them up. Like I feel like you have to stay pretty even keel, but yeah,
dude,
it's hard to relate
to me, it's I have the most admiration for athletes. Like I said, you know why? One of it is because I just love sports.
Yeah.
And I wasn't gifted in that department. You know, I tried, but I sucked. You know, I played in high school and all through grade school and shit. But I have the utmost respect, man. Like, stand on the mound, you know, like with that pressure, I can't even imagine it. Like, I can't imagine it.
You can, because, and again, I mean, we just keep talking about the parallels between music and sports, and I mean, I can't, you know, coming and watching you play your gigs around here. I mean, no, there's not X amount of thousands of people or whatever it is, but all eyes are on you,
right?
You know,
right.
when you're performing, and
I mean, there's similarities.
There's similarities.
Definitely,
absolutely.
It's a bigger scale when you know. I guess the thing is when you have a band backing you up, you can mess up.
Yeah. When you're on the mound, it's kind of you.
It's all you, man.
So it's like so that's a solo. Like being on the mound as a pitcher, is your solo. Like when you can hear you don't make mistakes, but
shit, I get paid to make mistakes.
Be foul. Ooh.
What's your favorite moment, man? Standout moment in your game?
You know, I think everybody always just knee-jerk goes back to their debut. You know, their first strikeout.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, the debut is always special because there's a lot of things that happened, you know, to have you be there. You know, the support system you had to get there, and
your parents come to a lot of games.
Oh yeah, they came to a fair bit.
Yeah.
And then because St. Louis was in the division, so they'd come up to St. Louis when we played in St. Louis.
Oh yeah, homecoming.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
So did you play guitar when you were pitching?
I did not. So there was a couple guys on the team, Bronson Arroyo, Jared Burton. They would carry their guitars around to the hotel. So that was kind of what we did at night, was, you know, kind of go to their room and they just play a little bit. I mean, it wasn't all the time, but one of my first memories in the big leagues was sitting around the pool in San Diego. And Bronson was down there, just, you know, it was a beautiful night, obviously, in San Diego, and sitting around the pool with nobody around there, just having a couple beers and just playing guitar. But I mean, my family was always, I mean, we are the air drum family of the year, or air instrument. You know, I guess my dad used to play, but that was before, you know, he's passed, but he was, you know, a lot older than I was. 40, I think he was 40 something when I was born. So I didn't know my dad the way that my older group did, but I guess he played a lot. His brother Lenny played a lot, and everybody in the family loves him, but none of my siblings actually played an instrument.
Yeah. And by the way, not to interrupt, I didn't know your father was that much older. Same with me. My dad was in his 40s.
Yeah.
He died when he was 66, and I was in my early 20s.
Yeah, and my dad was, I think, 76. I think around 76 when he passed. So, but no. So my family loves music. I mean, you want to talk about soundtrack to life. I mean, every time I'm out there, it is, you know, it's music constantly.
Yeah. Check that out.
Nobody ever see if it gets up here.
Come on.
There's one there. No, catch it!
Oh, right there. Right behind you. It's still on the dude's lap. All right. There you go.
Yes.
Before I forget, man, I want to talk about something that's kind of cool. Like, I get excited when other people get excited. Like, I like when you send me, like, you'll send me a text at like midnight of you playing a song or something.
Yeah.
It's like, that's cool, man. Like, that's the shit we do. You know, you send your stuff to your buddies and like, oh, here's a cool riff, or here's me playing. So
that's a lot cooler than sending an Instagram meme at 12 o'clock. Well, but when I do send you those, it's of a cool, you know,
right
guitar or something or whatever.
Right,
and I'm like, can I do this? And you're like, no.
Well, you know.
What is it? Sultans of Swing. I think I got the lecture. I was like, first song I want to play is Sultans of Swing. You're like, let's start somewhere else.
Well, I mean, that's the master, but you know.
But yeah,
goals,
man,
right? It's good to have goals.
I love having that to share, you know, and then obviously, you know, when we were having Bronson come over last off season, like those little Sunday sessions.
That was awesome, man. That was cool for me.
Like that's amazing. Like that's my own little private concert I get, but I get to be a part of it now too.
Yeah, well, it is because you're getting to watch it, but you're also now participating.
Yeah,
which is cool, man.
It is cool, man.
It just gets better. You're living your best life, man. You've earned it. You know, you work hard, you play hard, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing about life. I like to be around driven people, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's different types of drive.
Absolutely.
And I think it looks different for people based on your circumstances.
Sure.
You know, you and I have unique lifestyles, but to us, a 9-to-5er is a unique lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because we don't get it.
Right.
I can't relate to that.
No. I mean, it's Thursday afternoon. We're down here at the ballpark. Life is beautiful, right?
It is, man.
And I know you got to get back to work soon, man. I can't thank you enough for. What's this shit, man? A little fist pump. Hey, I'm a handshake.
Did you have a hot dog?
I did have a hot dog.
We don't handshake.
Brothers
think of when I come.
got a hug,
think
man.
of when I come into the salon.
We fist pump. I know.
Every
fist
time.
Pump.
Did you have a hot dog?
I did. I had a ballpark Frank. I wasn't even hungry, but when I get down here,
You
it's
have
like,
to.
You got
Mine's nachos. So up in that press, so you see where Cincinnati Reds.
Yep.
That's where the press box is. So
Yep.
there's Barry Larkin up there and blah blah blah, where Marty Brenneman used to do. So behind there's the press dining hall, and they've got hot dog rollers and ice cream machine.
And by the way, I'm just gonna say this. I noticed you didn't invite us up for the food.
No.
You didn't invite us up. You said, I'll meet you guys up there. I'm gonna go eat the real food, and you guys go eat the fucking
I just told you I eat hot dogs up there so
yeah,
much.
but I'm sure they taste better up there. They gotta taste better up there.
There's a better view out here.
All right. Hey man, maybe
We're gonna
later?
jam.
We're gonna jam later tonight. Maybe
We're gonna
continue
jam.
this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sam, thanks again, my friend. I like the jersey, man.
Yeah, so I think I wore that in, I don't remember what year it was, but we were in Philly, because I remember Bronson pitched that day, so we were wearing throwbacks, and that was the 1990 jerseys,
Yeah.
I guess, but Bronson pitched, I think Bronson threw like 7 innings, but it was the pants that didn't have a belt, so it had like the elastic was the pant
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So
yeah.
those are cool, man. I love wearing the throwbacks.
I've always wondered if players get to choose their own numbers, how that works.
If you're good.
I love this guitar.
So that was, I told you about that story. My buddy who was for my 40th birthday present got that for me. There we go.
Yeah, man.
That is my favorite. That's
Good
what I
stuff.
like to
Sure works of encouragement for anybody aspiring to become a guitar player.
Don't try to teach yourself, because I tried to do that. That's a waste of time. Hire Sean because he's awesome. And just start doing it. I think when it amazed me how, and I obviously haven't like quickly picked it up, but just, it can happen pretty quick,
Absolutely.
you know, if you just put in the time. So I'd say start now. You know, I was 8 years old or something like that. And it was the first year that we were pitching. And if you gave up 6 runs in an inning, they just like quit the inning and rolled it over. And I remember giving up 6 runs in one inning. You know, and I didn't know if I was a good pitcher or not. It's the first time I'd really done it. But I remember standing on the mound crying and like, somebody please come get my ass out of this jam, right? And that was a defining moment because I could have decided then like, baseball's not for me and quit. Or I could have got back on the horse. And I think about that and like, some people would have chosen to hit the road, right? Most people would have chosen to be like, this is too tough, I'm not gonna try. The people that continue to try until they succeed at it, who knows? I mean, obviously if I would have quit then, I wouldn't have made it to the major leagues, but I think that's a daily lesson of life is you have a choice on, are you going to get back up or are you going to let it defeat you? And
One of the most important things, my dad never gave me like all these speeches or anything, but one thing I do remember as a kid, he said, and it might seem a bit crazy looking back, but he's like, man, Sean, 9 out of 10 things in life will probably disappoint you. So be good with that one thing that's really successful, because people will disappoint you and life will disappoint you. So, just get used to it. And that stuck with me.
It does. It's unfortunate, but it's
the numbers can go up and down.
It's an unfortunate truth.
But I think when you start living life a little more, you can make good things happen by who you surround yourself with.
By gaining experience.
Some things are unavoidable.
Yeah, but I think it's important. I think it's the most important thing for people to do is fail.
Yeah.
And then once you have the opportunity to try it again, then that's step 2. But I think success starts with failure.
What's next in the next chapter of life for Mr. Sam?
For life, just what I want to,
Yeah, what do you want to do?
Which way I'm going?
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to you about this podcast that I want to do. That's kind of on the ground floor as far as, and essentially it's a lot like this. And maybe you were my inspiration to some degree. I want to call it pearls from the diamond, like pearls of wisdom from the baseball diamond and the parallels from baseball to life. We're talking about guitar and baseball or, those types of things. I think maybe you were the inspiration and I didn't even realize it. Because I think there are a lot of parallels between everything that happens in my life, because I know baseball, I have a freaking clue about life. So what is the rhythm of life?
Man, the rhythm of life is this. It's everybody has this aura
energy.
Going on and energy, right?
Yeah.
And to me, it all kind of resolves back to music.
So the life portion and the baseball portion for me is watching people in life who are successful and asking questions how they got there. In baseball, it was picking the brain of a Bronson or whoever about how they so I could get better at it, right? I think that's the importance of the relationships. Everybody that, and the musicians that you've played with, you don't necessarily remember the gig, you remember the people that you did it with. And I don't necessarily remember a specific game, it's the relationships. Every ball player always talks about, what was your favorite part? The relationships, the experiences that we had together and the 100%. Things that we learned from each other. And I think that's
the rhythm of life.
That, I think, surrounding yourself with those people.
For creating this community, that's what I'm trying to do, basically, is create a worldwide community of people that love music and are passionate about whatever they do. But goddamn, it all comes back to music.
Yeah, it does. Well, we were trying to learn the song Closing Time, but I don't know how to play the guitar. I'm Sam LeCure. This is Sean McGarry. This is episode something or other, episode 63. That was my baseball number.
This is
of the rhythm of life.
It's been fun.
Like and subscribe.
It's been a fun day, man. Got to go to a ball game, interview. That was cool for me, interviewing you at the ballpark.
Yeah.
That was
you
cool.
got some hits down there. People were like, I saw you and Sean, because I guess we posted it somewhere.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Saw you and Sean down at the set. How do you know Sean? Like, he's my...
Yeah, you don't want to say that.
He's my struggling guitar.
You don't want to answer that. You might get in trouble.
You're guilty by you're guilty by... I probably will. Now you're guilty by association.
Well, it's been a beautiful day hanging with you, my friend.
It is. The good news for me is we get to do it again a lot more. So, thanks, brother.
Thank you.
That's how I'm showing it.
Okay. Let me see.
Regular.
This is where I want to be? So
That's where I want you to be on my glove. Okay. But I wear this one differently. I have two down there.
To the front.
We're going short yard. Oh boy.
Don't give me your fastball.
I'm not. Curveball. Slow. Oh shit. That's the Arroyo.
Yeah. That was a strike.
Strike one. 1-1. 1-2. Who's your favorite hitter?
Of all time?
Yeah.
George Foster.
George Foster's at the plate. You got him 1-2. Throw your curveball. Trying to knock my teeth out. We're going to call the ball because I want you to throw another one. 2-2.
That was a strike. All right. That's good shit.
You did. You got good accuracy.